Let's see. I don't know if everybody, it says live 7 seconds in. So let's see if.
You are.
Okay. Hi. All right. So I don't know if anybody's on yet, but we'll just kind of wait for
some time.
Right. Wait a few minutes here.
Yeah. You have me on speaker?
Yep.
It'd be better to take me off speaker.
Well, I have you on speaker right now. So we got one person. Hi, Samantha. Yeah, because I have an echo. I'm hearing you in the background, so I'm not sure how to do this. Hi, Chelsea. Okay, guys, we've got 2 people on. This is literally my very first live on YouTube. We did some live, Debbie and I did some live readings a while back. Debbie, do I still have you or did I hang up on you? I think I accidentally hung up on her. Oh my gosh. Okay, so should I put you on my ear, like so I can hear you in my ear, or what should I do?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Okay, so hold on. Hi, sorry guys. So I'll be right back. I gotta find my earbuds. Where did I put them? Okay, so I just want to tell everybody how, first of all, how amazing my business partner and very good friend, Debbie, is. Okay, this isn't going to work either, Debbie, because I hear myself echoing. So I just have to say, Debbie is so amazing because she is like the producer of the 2 of us. We've worked so much together. And we had it all. She was working so hard to get it all set up where she's going to have this 2-camera view, and then she's going to have a Zoom call with me, and we're going to have all of that on the screen. We're going to have these amazing readings and everything. And just, I don't know, something happened and her Zoom would not go live. It wouldn't connect with this live. So it's just going to be me. And I'm really sorry because it's so much more fun with Debbie on board. But, you know, we'll figure it out. Maybe next time we'll do it again, and then we'll have it. So. All right. Oh my gosh, Debbie. And I had to hang up on her. Let me just call it in again and see if there's some other way we can figure this out. Because I really, when we're working together with these readings, it's just so much more fun. Debbie, what do you think I should do? Is there any way you could put your sound where you can hear me like in your ears? So can you go on maybe by your phone and log in by phone? Yeah, I can hear you fine. And I guess you can hear me by phone. So why don't you just shut off your screen sound? And that, okay, perfect. Okay. Then I could put you on speakerphone. Would that work? Or would that be, so we can still have you contributing and our audience can hear? I've watched other channels where people did that. So let's just give it a shot, you guys. So I am going to go ahead and turn her on speakerphone here. Take off my earbuds. And go ahead and say something, Debbie. We'll see how the sound is.
Hey, guys. Can everyone hear me? I hope so.
On my phone, it's like literally the quietest speakerphone I've ever heard in my life. So if anybody could answer.
Can you guys let us know? Pearl Moon says, yes, you can hear me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yay! My God. Let me just say this. Huh?
Yeah, no, like if you give us some feedback on, is it really hard to listen to, or is it about right with the volume?
Sounds good. Oh, okay. My gosh. I'm so glad to hear that you guys can hear. I cannot believe this. Like, you guys, I was up until 2 a.m. last night working with my set, and I was actually going to be able to show my table. And I went into my Zoom account, and it basically would not let me go live on YouTube on this account. I was like, what? So poor Kimberly has got to sort of take care of everything on her side. But what we're going to do is I'm still going to be over here on my side. I'll still pull cards. But you know what, guys? Here's the creator of the Intuit Oracle. And, oh, good. I'm glad to hear everyone can hear. Yay. And, you know, as the creator of the Intuit Oracle, honestly, the girl knows how to read these cards. I'm involved because I love the cards and cannot live without them. I use them all the time. But she is the one. So, you know, maybe this is the way it's supposed to be this time. You guys will get a chance to see. We got the new deck for the Twin Flame Oracle. And thank you for joining us on a Saturday night. I hope everyone grabbed a cocktail if they wanted one, grabbed some popcorn, and we are just going to have a really good time. Okay?
All right. So excited to have all these people here. And as Debbie said, we'll be using the Intuit Oracle. Debbie has the newer version. She has the single copy that we have a sample of until it's in our hands. I have the older version, so I'm kind of bummed that she's got the newer one. That's all right. They're actually not that different. All the exact same cards, plus just the bonus cards that are new bonus cards. So I also have the Zodiac 108, which is, again, both of these decks are, this is sold out. This one is not yet in publication. They're getting so close. The last I heard, they were putting them all in the boxes and, you know, then packaging them. And so we're not sure exactly when they're going to leave the printer house. And then it takes about 6 weeks for them to arrive here. So anyway, and then this one, the new one that I just finished creating with Marla Kelly from Twin Astrology. So we're going to have those through the 3 decks. And, you know, we're just going to say right now, we are doing this in order for you guys to see how our cards work. But if you just have one of these decks or 2, or you end up getting all 3 of them, or our tarot deck as well, which I could grab. I could grab the tarot deck as well. I should have. But anyway, you know, it doesn't matter even if you only have one deck. We always enjoy, you know, using more than just our own decks, even with other people's decks. So we're not trying to be snobs here, but we do want to just showcase our own publication. Are you typing?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Tick, tick, tick. Clack, clack, clack.
I'm sorry.
So I'm just wondering what we can do. Can you put it on? Yeah, put your sound off when you're typing. And I love that you're typing because you're communicating with people. Awesome. In fact, Debbie's logged into my account. So she's the person who's typing right now is into Oracle. So Debbie, just let me know. And actually, you guys who are on there, Pearl, Meta Life, Joanna, Diane, thank you guys. Samantha, whoever wants to pop a question up there on the screen. Now, one of the things that we really have found works so well with this deck of cards is to, you know, formulate an initial question. And then from there, we're going to end up kind of asking further questions. They might be questions that I or Debbie will think of, or we can ask, you know, you to you know, ask a secondary question as well. So once we have someone up to bat, then, you know, we'll have that person that we'll be focusing on, and then you can interact. Please do, you know, any kind of response that you want to think of. And we found that the readings are so much more fun, so much richer, and get in depth and involved when we actually have that person's interaction. And if there's yeah, go ahead.
We have our first question.
Okay, awesome.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
The first question from Brashay Coley is, how does Dario feel about me? So that sounds like that's a Intuit Twin Flame Oracle question.
Yeah, let's
message from her beloved.
Okay, I'm going to use that. I'm also going to use the Intuit Oracle. So some people have asked us, you know, what we have found the difference between the Zodiac 108 and the Intuit Oracle deck. And while you can use either deck for any kind of question at all whatsoever, we have found that overall, we do like the Intuit Oracle a little bit better for romantic kinds of relationship questions. And we like the Zodiac 108 for more of the like overall life kinds of situations or what's going on in your life in general terms. And of course, definitely we'll use the Twin Flame one here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to start with the Intuit Oracle and see what cards. So can you say the names again? Because I actually am not seeing that question here. Brashy, you said, and then what's going on with
Brashay Coley? And
Brashay,
she just
I
wants
see.
to know
Dario. Okay,
how Dario feels about
Okay,
her.
so what are Dario's feelings toward Brashay? And I don't know if we're saying your name right. And actually, I had the man card come up, so I'm going to pull one more. I typically pull 3 cards initially with the Intuit Oracle, but when we have a person come up, it's really neat because it's like it just really confirms that we have the energy of a man here. I'm so sorry about the lighting. It makes it hard to see. I'll turn that light away. So I'm pulling another one. So we definitely have a man here that we're talking about. And also just want to say, sometimes it's kind of fun when you see there's 2 different men in the deck. So if that one it has any characteristics that are particular about this person, it's always kind of fun to see if that occurs. And then I'll pull one from the relationship Twin Flame Oracle, which is particularly about relationships. Okay. We'll start with the Intuit Oracle. All right, the 3 cards that came up I have are the Fox, the Lily, and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, in the Intuit Oracle, it is the first part of the deck is based on Lenormand, and these are straight up from the Lenormand cards. So the thing about the Fox card is it's an interesting card because it can be seen as a negative card, but it's not necessarily negative depending on kind of, how that's going to resonate with you. But it does indicate somebody who is kind of being stealthy and not totally upfront with something. And they can be a little, like you think about how a fox is evasive but very crafty, cunning, and very smart about it. Like a lot of intelligence, even a lot of thought is going in behind that. We also have the Lily, which talks about things that are established for over a long period of time, something that has longevity. So there is something about your connection with this person that is long lasting. But we also have the Wheel of Fortune, which is talking about fate, karma, cycles, forces of the universe, destiny, synchronicity. So I also feel like he does end up like there's definitely those kinds of things that connect that happen within the connection for both of you that have like these synchronicity, maybe signs or different kinds of things that are coming up. And I feel like he does see that as well. But this card that I got from Marla from Twinstrology, our new deck that we have the Kickstarter going right now, this one is very, very telling about the real underlying, and it makes more sense with these cards. And that is, it's a communication card came up, and it says, "You think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay your conversations in my head." So I couple that with this fox, this guy who's a little sly and crafty and not like straight up front about things, is that what you're experiencing from him is kind of like this different picture in the outward sense than what's really going on behind the scenes inside of his mind, inside of his head. Because he's going to show you one thing. He's going to be this crafty, not really forward and direct and kind of like, evasive a little bit. But there's far more about your connection with him that is going on than you think. And he's being quiet about it, but he's playing it over and over in his head. He's thinking a lot more about you than you would think. And I feel like that even comes back to the Lily here, where the Lily is something that's established. There's something in your connection that I think is a lot more established, and the roots of it go deeper than what you're seeing on the surface with things with him, if that makes sense. So, Debbie, do you have anything to add?
I was going to say, I just pulled one and it came flying out of Marla's deck.
Okay.
Hopefully, Brashay, you can that you can hear me. This card says that you may be projecting your own fears and limitations onto him. Okay. So what his message to you is to go in and understand that you are seeing yourself. So what I want to say is if you're having any feelings like concerns about where he's coming from or how he feels about you, or you have any negative feelings like, oh, I know he's not thinking this, or I know he's not thinking that, you're projecting your own fears onto that person. And he is trying to say to you, you're seeing yourself, not him. So I don't know if that helps you at all, but that's a mirrors card. And in connection, that is a pretty important understanding for all of us to see, is that we project our fears onto the other person, not necessarily, it's not necessarily them. It's always us, if that makes sense.
And it actually, something from the Fox card that kind of rings true with that is that another thing on that card says, when you see the fox, it's an indication that something's wrong. And that could really be anything. And I'm feeling like if you get this sense and you're feeling like something's off or something's wrong, that's what that other message that Debbie was just talking about that's coming up. It's actually a projection from it within inside of you. So when you're feeling like something's wrong, it's not that I'm not saying that you're wrong or that you're doing something wrong, but it's like it's a cue to you to say
perception. Yeah,
it's perception. And so you're like, wait a minute, just stop and pause and say, okay, this could be a projection because he's being this, character who's not being so forthright with me and upfront about certain things. And so then it's leading me to make these certain, my perception is being this, that something's wrong. When a lot of times what we think is wrong isn't what really is wrong, because we also have that he does listen to you and he does replay those conversations in his head. And there's a lot more going on with that connection than you might think. So,
yep.
All right.
Okay.
Should we go to another question?
Got another question. Good. Natalie wants to know, what can I expect for my career and finances in the next 3 months?
Okay. I'm going to pull from the Zodiac 108 for this question. Yep. Again, you could use either deck. The Intuit Oracle works for that as well, but this one works a little better. So Natalie, career and finances over the next 3 months. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. Came flying out was the Eclipse card. Eclipses, as we know, just from energetically speaking, it's very much about something that's going to get, some big highlight, universe energy, transformation. I got the sword and the scales, which is about, just things that are just, fair, right, law, fair and square, even keel, due process. So I feel like it may be some things that are going to unfold in a matter of there's a process here, due process. And let's see, that was more of an outcome card. So let me keep going here. And I have the rings, contracts, agreements, strong connections. Let me just go ahead and take a look at here some more, see what's coming to me. Okay, so I do feel like there's going to be something that comes along that you may feel temporarily. It will be temporary because it does say here temporary block, but it's also can symbolize a feeling of loss of power. Eclipse, you think about the sun and how when the moon goes over the eclipse, temporarily you have that block, temporary block. You have that temporary loss of the power of the intense heat of the sun and the energy of the sun coming through. So I feel like you may already have experienced this, or you're in this frame of time right now. But I think the most important message here is that it's temporary and it is something that will be passing. And it actually ends up being transformational. So whatever you might go through, either in the near future or have already been going through, that's it's actually a transformation here that's going to be very powerful. And it's going to end up bringing balance to you. The sword and the scales is about balance. It's about things that are right, about something that's more fair and square. So I feel like you're going to have something regarding finances or job opportunity or business opportunity if you're looking, to do something for yourself that will give you more balance and bring more right and fairness into your life, where you're going to have, that equity. Another word here is equity. So I don't know if that resonates with you. Rings comes through as contracts, agreements, partner. It could be that you end up having a partner with somebody a like-minded person, a committed partner who may be, coming in through, something to do with your work situation. And, but, very strong connections here, I think, are coming through to help you with that. So Debbie, did you pull anything?
I did. I pulled the roundabout, and what I wanted to say it was coming to me is that there's possibly like a new direction for where you're going, which may be the moment of this eclipse kind of stopping everything. There is something going on with, controlling the flow of information in terms of what you're being given about where you're going. And there's many working parts. So you just have to realize that there's perfect timing in all of it. So to relax, I'm getting that you need to just relax into it. Don't worry about it. Allow everything to be as it is. And you're going to be your connections that help you. Did you get a roundabout too?
I found it for you so she could see it.
Oh my gosh, Kimberly. Okay, that makes more sense. All right.
Yeah, and I like the roundabout because it does talk about perfect timing, about solutions to things. Like, think about a roundabout. In fact, just yesterday I was taking my daughter to her big stepsister's house, and I hadn't been there in a while, and there was 2 new roundabouts, and I was like, oh, this is new. I haven't seen these before. And they come in to solve a problem. And so that's the thing, is like, there could be something, or there will be something, I think, that like where things have been jammed up before. You think about an intersection being, like everybody's just like stop and start and go, and there's, red light, green light, but then you get a roundabout and everybody just keeps flowing. As you come in, you might have a little pause, and you get into the flow of it, and then it'll redirect you to where you need to go. So there's going to be some energy of that redirection, which definitely does connect with the union of opposites and the eclipse with that change.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. And if there, go ahead.
I was just going to say, are we ready for the next question?
Oh, good. She says they resonate. Okay, good. Awesome. Yes. Ready for the next one.
All right. So Samantha wants to know, what do I need to work on next in my love/self-love journey? And I'm so glad, Samantha, to see that you recognize that is one and the same, because our love life is so tied to our self-love. So we're going to look at what it is that you need to work on.
Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 from the Intuit Oracle deck. And these are really great. I have the first card up is the Tower. Now, this is Lenormand Tower. It's not the same as the Tower from Tarot. The Norman Tower has the meaning of guidance, standing alone, standing in your power, something that really lasts the test of time. It can also be about hierarchy and government and corporations and institutions. I don't feel like that's the meaning here. I'm thinking that what this is saying is like you really standing alone, really standing firm and standing true, and really kind of, doing that internal, no, I'm doing it my way. I am following my guidance, because that's another word, is actually guidance for this card. The next thing that came up was the Child, which is about new beginnings, fresh starts, a new take on things, also being spontaneous and also creativity. And so I do think that coming into like that energy of new beginnings, you are entering, and we're thinking about right now, we're in spring. Today's the equinox. It's the first day of spring. And so I was just hiking before I came down here to get this started, and going into my higher guidance, and I was getting a message about spring and about how I had gone up on the mountain today. When I left the house, it was sunny, and it's been cold, but then in the sun, it felt really warm. And so I didn't bring my gloves, and I didn't bring another layer. And then I got up on the mountain, and the sun went behind the clouds, and it was windy and cold. And they were telling me, it's like, we're in this place of change from one season to another where, winter is still going to be kind of overlapping a little bit into spring. And we're going to have these moments where we don't get what we expected. We thought it was going to be, I thought it was spring. How come it's cold and windy and, right now? And so this is kind of that, at the moment where you're in a place of that new beginnings, where sometimes I might not feel like it's really coming through the way you expected. But overall, I have the Geese, which is about being on a journey. It's an overall journey. You think about the geese that, they migrate and they go all the way north in the spring, summer, and then they go all the way south, in the winter when it's cold. And yet it's dependable. That it's a journey, but they will get there, and they're on a quest, and they're going to get there. So there's kind of like this overall promise that by you standing in that place and that firm, that guidance within yourself. And then, this new beginning is coming, but it's also a journey. So, you're going to have that new beginning coming through, but it may take some time. Debbie, did you pull anything? Okay, I don't hear her. I had set my deck down upside down, and so I saw the bottom of the deck, and these were the 2 cards in the bottom of the deck, and I pulled this one, and then I saw this, so I decided to bring them forward. We have the Firefly, which is the 11 card, and it does say somebody very exceptional, that soul spark, inner fire, magic, and attraction, and I feel like that desire, and I don't know, if you already have a partner or someone in your life, or you're hoping for that to come in, but that person does come in when this is the journey of self-discovery and self-love, and that coming into your own inner spark and really, coming in tune with yourself so that you have that self-love come forward. And then of course, I'm a believer in, as within, so without. And so as you start really, working with these energies and going within and developing that self-love, then it will manifest in an external, partner or union with someone.
And I am here. I had muted myself. I was typing. It's so funny. I did pull a card. I'm just trying to, sort of just pull 1 or 2 here to add to what you're saying. The first thing that came to me was to pull the Twin Flame card, because the Twin Flame cards are not just from the significant other, but it's from your higher self as well. And the card that I pulled is called, it's a message about trust. And I'm listening to my higher self now. A higher power is guiding me. And so what I want to say is that is the key to what we need to be focused on. And this is for all of us, actually, for the self-love journey. And it is what materializes as that external relationship. And that's kind of what you were saying, Kimberly. So I find it very interesting, that this was the message that came out. It's all about your listening to your own inner guidance. And I think our biggest challenge when we're in any kind of a desire for a relationship is we look at stuff outside of ourselves and we try to put a story to what we're seeing. And that story is coming from our little self. But if we would go up to a higher perspective and look at it from the higher self, we would tell a completely different story about what we're seeing. This is the key to love, is to get out of the telling ourselves these small stories that really don't benefit us, that don't help us.
Right.
So if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. So I just was reading Samantha's comments here. So
yay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and look here. Joanna wants to know. Let me see here. Joanna wants to know, what does my DM most want me to know at this time? Well, that is a perfect.
Okay, I'll start out right now with the
Flame
Twin
Oracle
Flame deck.
Yep.
What does he most want to know? Joanna's Divine Masculine counterpart most want her to know at this time. Oh, 2 came out. I'm going to take them both because I was actually going to draw 2 cards. All right, so the first one says it's telepathic messages. And it amazes me when we say the same things at the same time, or finish each other's sentences. He wants you to know that. And then the second one is karmic ties. I've been giving away my power to other people in my life. I'm learning to set boundaries. Now, I will just say this, that it could be that maybe you guys don't actually experience this, saying each other's sentences in physical. So I want to kind of like tune in and get if that were the case, if that is, then he is understanding that or connected to that and recognizes that. But if that isn't something, if you guys aren't in communication and that isn't something you actually experienced, then I'm feeling it's more about the connection that this person has with you is just like, there's moments of this, like something comes into his mind and he's just kind of shaking his head, like, you know, why am I thinking about that right now? Or just, you know, that pause and that kind of that surprise and amazement that's just something popped in out of nowhere. Just the same way it would if you're with someone and you're finishing each other's sentences and you just like, oh my God, of course, you know, we would do that because, and so he's kind of getting that, he's getting that with synchronicities around you. All right. Debbie, did you want to pull anything or?
Yes, I did. I pulled them.
Okay.
I got 2 cards and it's funny, they kind of go together. And it'll be interesting to find out if these pertain to you at all. But the card that came through, the first one that flew out is I miss you. Let's both stop running away. And the second one was I'm praying you'll come back after everything that's happened between us. I worry that you won't forgive me and allow me another chance. So I'm very interested to find out if you are in contact or, you know, this can also be energetically. Because what I'm getting is even when you're in contact.
I just read that Joanna, she said they do complete each other's sentences online. So that's really cool.
Oh, good. Now, I would like to know, like, if she is, well, let's put it this way. Whether you're communicating with this person or not, this person is saying to you that they miss something about you. So if it's a level of connection that you've had before, if it's a closeness that you've had before, or if it's physically they're not with you right now, it doesn't matter. I mean, like, I don't know your circumstances, but what I'm getting very strongly is that this person is kind of concerned that you might not, what do you want to say? I'm praying you'll come back after everything that happened between us. I think that they're longing for that state of closeness that you've had before. Now, I don't know what that, you know, if that makes any sense to you at all, but that's what I'm getting.
I'm going to show you what I got with, and that's really great. What I got with the Intuit Oracle here. And the first card up was communication. So again, we're on that theme of communication, and it does talk about all types of communication. But then I have a stalemate card. So there does feel like there's something that's blocking here. And I don't know if you guys have experienced a block of communication, or in the kind of communication that you've had, there's still something that isn't completely coming through. And what I do get here is that the Saturn is at play, which is about boundaries, duty, but also complete, the completion of cycles are here. Boundaries, restriction. So again, we kind of have that idea of restriction with the stalemate. And I do feel that, and we got boundaries here with this card where it says, I'm learning to, I'm needing to give, I've been giving away my power to people in my life, and I'm learning to set boundaries. So it could be that this has had an effect on his, connection or communication with you lately, and has maybe had like some kind of restraint or restriction is in place with that communication, and he misses that. So I don't know if Joanna has any feedback on that, but let's go on to the next person. I hope that helps, Joanna.
Okay.
Oh,
let me see here. I'm just gonna go back and I'm having to scroll back because I was just texting with someone. Oh my gosh, I guess we are going back. Hang on, sorry, I kind of lost track of where we're at.
And by the way, I saw someone else that just popped in and said, can I have a reading? So what we're doing is we'll be on here for a while. You go ahead and type in your question. We're really working from the top and working our way down. Once your name comes up, and if we're giving you your reading and you're still on, which we hope you are, it really is great if you give us feedback on how, if you have any further questions along that as well. Okay. Yeah,
because then we can always add, a couple of cards on to clarify something that's how these cards work. In terms, the next question is from Soul Path Tarot. Can you tell me if I'm going in the right direction with my spiritual career choices? I'm grabbing the Z108, I think.
I love questions about that.
Oh, I know, me too.
Okay, the first thing that came up that I got was the cabin. And you guys, the meaning in this particular deck for cabin was it's symbolic of separation, of quarantine, of being secluded, of being disengaged from all of the world around you. And I found this picture of this cabin literally on this little rock in the middle of a lake. So it's very much, it's about being isolated, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? I have felt so much that this last year, 2020, and all of the isolation that we've gone through on a worldwide basis has actually given people amazing. It's been really hard, but it's also opened up amazing opportunities for really shifting out of old patterns and templates and then doing something new. And I see so many people going in new directions. So I'm feeling like that's coming up because it's just saying, that detachment, that time going within has opened up, and been connected to opening up opportunities. Let's see what else we get. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So the next 3 cards I got, the next one, it was Castle, which is about recognition, position, praise for achievements, legacy. So I do feel like you're on a track of creating something that will be as lasting as a castle, as you think about the castle as so representative of generations and the legacy and architecture. If you're, if it actually is something connected to building or creating, and there's another card here that's about creating as well. But I do feel like, especially that idea of legacy, you are on a track for creating a legacy, and it has everything to do with something about you declaring, making a declaration to like stick your claim in it, put your flag in it. Reclaiming your power, having resolve, expressing your truth in some way, really coming to that place of autonomy, self-rule, which a lot of us who are stepping out into creating our own, track, your own mission, as it were, but that, that you're doing to, as occupation instead of the old way. And then the final thing I have is the symphony. And the symphony is about working together. And you have, all of these different musicians that are coming together and playing this beautiful music. It's collaboration, it's harmony, co-creating, and precise. So I do feel like whatever you're headed toward is going to be just like a symphony. It will create a beautiful outcome. The final product will be beautiful and amazing. I do feel like it will have something to do with co-creation. So if all of these are resonating with that path for you, then I feel like you are on the right path.
Yep. And I got, you ready for my card?
Yeah.
All right. I got the fishing pole and the white rabbit. So if you wanted to even see if you can find those cards real quick to show people. But, you're asking about your spiritual career. And what I was kind of being shown is that you're in a self-evaluation or a self-exploration period of time. In other words, White Rabbit says gnosis, figuring it out, spiritual awakening. You're researching it. You are on a self-improvement path, comes from the fishing pole, self-reliance. So I almost feel like you are on the right path, because part of that path is going into your own inner knowing to make sure that you feel that you are aligned with what it is you are doing. So, and to say what Kimberley had said before, the fishing pole does talk about self-reliance. And let's face it, guys, on a spiritual, what do you want to call it, a spiritual career, we're blazing trails. We're new. We're extending ourselves in areas that are completely new. Because, it's a career path that, if you think back, it was the gypsies and the seers and all of these people that, that was like a quirky profession. And now, with all the shifts and changes that are happening on the planet, it's a huge profession. And those of us who have been training, we've been training for a long time to do it. So, you're on the right path because you're questioning that. You're not just going forward full steam into something. You're thinking about it. You're exploring it. So, good girl.
I truly feel that this card, the White Rabbit card, it just encapsulates those people who are on this spiritual enlightenment journey so much, because first of all, we're willing to go down that rabbit hole, to go places nobody has gone before, going into that deep inner knowing. And so truly, you're doing the right thing here. All of that's coming up. And she does say, she says it resonates with her. So that's wonderful. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Meta Solution. I wonder if you're still on here. John. Oh my gosh, John, I have not talked to John in forever. Hey, John,
oh my gosh,
you're still with us.
Okay, well, just while you're looking for him, she said she's updating a caravan to be a gypsy. So, Debbie, you were really tapping into something there that came up.
Oh my gosh,
I love gypsy caravans. They're so cool.
I know, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Isn't that interesting? I'm telling you what, guys, it's like what the cards do for me is I already have like my own, of course, we all have our own connection with source, right? Mm-hmm. And it depends on how open we are and how many blocks we might have. But the thing is that it's almost, and it's funny with John, Meta Solution being on here, is that he did teach me about going into your own knowing and allowing, these are permission slips. Cards are just permission slips. There's something that it's just a way of you acknowledging that connection with your higher self. So I'm so glad that you told me that. Thank you for letting me know about the gypsy thing. All right. Megan wants to know if her YouTube channels will grow and expand, essentially becoming lucrative. So she's looking at, is this something that's going to support her monetarily or in abundance?
Oh my gosh. So cards are just like flying out for me.
Cool.
The first card up is the bonfire, which is very much about taking off, enthusiasm, intense joy, igniting passion, ecstasy, spark, community, sharing ideas, getting things going. And then I also had the very likely card fly out. So,
wow.
So that was nice. Let me see what else we got. And I think that we may, hopefully we'll get some information here of cards that will give some hints on, what to do to help that happen. Yeah, okay, so the other two cards that I got the Person of Water. I don't know if you're a water sign or not, but, the characteristics of water signs are psychic, emotionally connected, psychic, empathic, intuitive, heart-centered, feels deeply. And so I think that's like you have this going for you, whether you're a water signs or not. This is what you have, those characteristics you have going for you to make that happen. And then I think this is going to be a really key card for giving some hints on how to make it successful. So the corset is about things that are held together with boundaries, structured, buttoned up, and holding together and support. So I feel like those are some kind of key things. You think about a corset being something that might, change the shape of something, but it's something that it's all held together, prim and proper. So I do feel kind of like there's an element to all of this that if you, like there's a formula that really does work for making a YouTube channel successful. I've started a couple, including this one myself, and I've never done what is actually needed to do in order to grow really big because it's just not, I don't feel like that's my calling or what I want to do. But one of those things is that you have to have this ability to really stick with it. You have to be able to button it up. You have to be able to, be consistent. That's kind of, and that's the very reason why it doesn't really work for me to be the best YouTuber and have a YouTube channel really take off, because I literally have learned for myself that I don't ever want to do one thing so consistently and religiously or whatever. That's just not my nature or personality. And so in order for it to be successful, you have to just keep on creating content and be consistent so that you're always up there and people are noticing and whatever. So I do feel like that'll be your key to success. And if you know that you have that in you, if that's you, you definitely have the ability to do that, because I do feel like you have the psychic part, and I feel like you've got the enthusiasm and the personality for it. So it's very likely. Now, we didn't get an absolute yes because it still is up to you. Like there's an element there of what you do in order to make it be successful.
Interesting. Very interesting, because I got some stuff that goes kind of right along with that. First of all, I want you to know that I decided to use the Intuit Oracle on this one. And the card that flew out of the deck is magnifying glass. And see, I'm a marketing director. So the second I saw that, and my own experience of YouTube channels and what I've done with YouTube channels, it is so important that you get the information that you need to do this. If you want a successful YouTube channel, you need to be literally, number one, you have to understand what that means. And it means creating content, continually creating content. And there's so many different aspects. But the magnifying glass says that you need to pay attention to the details and go look for more information on being successful and what being successful means. Now, it's funny. I pulled Kimberley, you have in our new deck the dancers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The dancers are also timing cards. So I keep mine. What I've done with the new version of the deck, and Kimberly was right. I ended up with the deck that has all the extra cards. I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? Well, anyway,
you were doing video readings for Instagram and stuff. Here. And so I was there.
I think you were.
And I left it with you, even though I wanted to take it home. I actually have them, but they have the wrong backs on them because I just had a few extra blank spots. So when I got this deck printed, I just threw these in there so I can show her which one. I just don't use them mixed in because they look different. So which one?
Well, anyways, it was the mutable. All right. And it says maybe more information needed. It was like a confirmation to me when I pulled this card. What it said is that the success of your YouTube channel, Megan, is going to be based on how much you're willing to actually learn about marketing yourself. Okay? Marketing yourself for a YouTube channel is extremely important. And both Kimberly and I will both attest to the fact that we both had an opportunity to be YouTubers. We had a YouTube channel together called What on Earth, and unfortunately it was taken down by YouTube, but hey, those things happen. And but in terms of even knowing marketing, I mean, there's so much that has to be said about creating a channel. You have to really dive into the marketing aspect is what I'm getting. So more information is needed for you from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you.
And I'll just have to say from a creative person side, now Debbie's very creative too. So there's nothing, I'm not saying this to say she's not creative, but her forte is marketing. And I'm the one that does the design and the creation part of this.
Yep.
And of course, marketing takes creativity as well. I am so thankful to have her partnership, and we,
me too.
I'm blessed with that. But it's something someone can totally do on their own. You can learn all those parts, but I'm thankful that I didn't have to dive into that as much because I have her. The mutable card, it does talk about the end of the season. So it could be also like if you're wanting about timing wise, that's just something I thought I'd throw out there. It does talk about being open-minded, adept, connected, having that perfecting touch, and editing, being an editor. Literally in the mutable sign, that's a skill that's about, the mutable sign. Chameleon, so you have to have this ability to change and changeable. So, and it also says maybe, Debbie did say that maybe more info needed. And this one said very likely. So again, I just feel like it's totally in the cards that you will be successful. And she said she has 2 channels. One is a candle review channel, so the fire, that's very interesting, and then astrology and tarot. So, and that's where the person of water psychic card comes up. So,
awesome. Well, and let's talk. If you have a channel where you're doing readings, we can talk. I think that one of the things that I'm going to start doing, and this is for anyone that's listening, that has a channel that likes our cards, I'm going to start interviewing different channel, what do you want to call it, YouTubers that do readings, because I want to know more about what makes you tick. So it's something that I'm very interested in. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out at what's the address that we're using? intuitoracle@gmail.com.
Spelled with the 2, intuitoracle@gmail.com. And that is something, we have considered what would be the best way of utilizing this channel. Because I don't have a ton of followers on it, but people do find us because they're looking for Intuit Oracle. And we do want to have content on here. And so this was actually the thing that we've been discussing about different people, YouTubers and Instagram influencers or whatever, people who are publicly using our cards and then bringing them on for an interview and talking about that. So definitely reach out to us.
And then we also have some ideas of, building relationships with different YouTubers and even hosting, readings on here. Both Kimberly and I, our fortes, she's just an outstanding creative person. She blows me away with her ability to just put these decks together. It's like almost instantaneously. I love to watch her work doing that. And as for me, I just love conceptualizing how to get those beautiful decks out there and how to make people aware of them. So we're not really, as much as we love the cards that we're using, we love them so much, we use them every day ourselves. I would say that my goal, from a more spiritual standpoint, is helping people learn how to use these cards for themselves. And so I don't put myself in a position of a reader who wants to put out content all the time. And I think both Kimberly and I are on the same page on that, which is why we don't have, YouTube channels with 100,000 followers, because that's really not our goal. But what we're looking to do, though, is help you guys learn how to read them yourselves. So that's why we do the readings. We love to teach. So, all right. And divine guidance with Mystic B would love to have a general reading if you would be so kind, Kimberly.
Okay. I just want to really quickly comment that Soul's Path Tarot said count her in. So Soul's Path, go ahead and email us. Make sure you do that. And Samantha also mentioned the Mermaid Oracle uses our cards, and that's how she found us. So yeah, just shoot them a note, let them know where we are wanting. It's something we'll do. We'll finally get our whatever issue we had today that wasn't working for this. Of course, we could always record ahead of time, but we love doing live stuff. So hopefully,
we've done lives before, but whatever happened, I have no freaking idea.
Okay, so we just have just general reading. What was the name again?
It's Divine Guidance with Mystic B.
From Divine Guidance from Mystic B.
With Mystic B is the name.
Okay, so we're just doing a general reading. I'm gonna just do the Zodiac 108, and maybe Debbie, you do a different one.
Yeah.
Or do whatever you want. You pull cards, whatever cards you want.
Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Oh. They're just jumping. I love these cards. Kimberly, you guys, these cards are so awesome because they just jump right out.
Yeah, and I'm thinking probably most of our people that are watching this probably have our decks, or at least one of our decks. But, when I created Intuit Oracle, I made a lot of cards in it because I had just one deck I'd ever found that had, it was like 84 cards or something. And I loved that it had a lot of cards in one deck. And then I ended up making this one with 118 cards. And the new version, it has 132. So I just love having a lot of cards in one deck. It's just fun. All right. So then
we have the different decks.
Yeah. Now
I'm always like, we have like hundreds of
different ones to reach for. And just today, I started working on design for the next deck concept that's coming through my consciousness. So, all right. The three that we've got here are the Sword and Scales, the Inventor, and Family. So, the things that are coming up for me is that it could be that you have some kind of, and again, this is divine guidance. What was the other part of the name? I'm just not seeing this one on my thread.
It's okay. Just call her Divine.
Okay, so Divine.
Just call her Divine.
I'm feeling like the Swords and Scales are coming up because there could be something having to do with legal matters or something about that. But if you have anything that is in the realm of legal matters that you've come up against, or documents, or I don't know, something along that line, that I feel like the Sword and Scales comes up to point that out, and then to say that, in the end, you're going to have truth, justice, balance. Somebody will maybe make amends, and even if it's not a legal matter, maybe it's with a connection with someone, whatever first comes into your mind about this, that there will be equity, balance, fair play, and opportunity. Hear me out, it says. And so I feel like you'll have an opportunity for, some kind of truth to come forward, some kind of, fairness and balance, that it will resolve something maybe that's kind of been floating around for a while. The Inventor card is a really great one. And I just feel like, you are a creative person, and it's just coming out to highlight that for you and saying, just affirming to use your imagination, your creative abilities, or it might just be that you have something in the way of groundbreaking developments happening in your life, and it could very well be connected to whatever this is that the Sword and Scales, whatever that means for you. And so it does, we have some groundbreaking, something really important coming through. Inspired ideas that can, help move something along in your life, in your situation. And it may all be connected to family, or maybe family is coming up for a different reason. But I did have the family come up, a family card, which is about, any kind of parent, friend, even close friend that's like a family member to you, parent, children. It also is just in general about loyalty, faithfulness, allegiance, affection, support systems, your tribe or kindred spirit. So, it could be that exactly what this is, and all three of these things kind of go together around that, or it might be kind of different areas of your life. But, because this is a very general reading and I don't have a specific question, I'm just I know this is backwards for you all. You can't read it frontwards, but there it is. Debbie, what did you get? What came up for you?
Okay. First card I got was the Falcon. All right, this is the Intuit Oracle, 2nd edition. I got the Falcon, I got Balance, and I also pulled one of the Twin Flame cards for a message from the higher self. Right now, I feel that your higher self is working on something with you, okay? You're like balancing within yourself some of the, I want to say, feminine, masculine energies, and coming into balance to where things you're getting into a better place of well-being. A lot of that is coming from the ability to rise above into a higher perspective, which is what's happening as we're transitioning into the higher self. So you're getting a higher perspective. You're getting a far reacher vision of what's happening. You're able to look, I think of the Falcon as being a little bit more of the higher self, because, but it does talk about a transition. So you're in that process. And the Twin Flame card that I pulled is a message about trust. There is a lesson to be learned from this. So right now you're probably in a period of time where you are getting to that place to rise above situations and see a higher perspective. So I think that adds nicely to what Kimberley said.
Yeah, very good. All right, I was looking for the other cards and I couldn't find them, so we'll move on. So do we have another question?
All right, let me look here.
And I'm just, while you're looking, I'll read a response from Divine Guidance, who she says she will be using the cards that she gets from us when she and use them for her clients. That's great.
That's
Bianca.
Awesome.
Her name is Bianca. Thanks, Bianca.
Oh, Bianca. Hey, Bianca. I bet is it Bianca Sims?
I don't know. Doesn't have a last name.
Okay. Let me see. Diana. Let me see. Oh my God, relationship reading really on point with me, exactly what she's experiencing now. I didn't think she had a question. Hang on. Let me just make sure. Sorry, Kimberly. I'm just looking.
That's okay. And I can look back too, but you're working straight through them, right? So I can.
Cinnamon Girl. I would like to know if new changes are coming this spring for me, career and love life.
Okay, right, do you want to pull for one and I'll pull for the other? Career, love life, or what? or just whatever?
Yeah, I'll pull for love life. You pull for career.
Okay. I'll do the Zodiac 108 for career.
Yeah. And
Again, I'll just say, if anybody's tuning in just now, you can use any of these decks, either when the Zodiac 108 is available or Intuit Oracle. You can use them for any kind of question, but since we do have both decks, we have found that we kind of prefer the Intuit Oracle for spiritual kinds of things and relationship kinds of things a little bit more. And we love this one for like career, life path, geopolitical things. Very good for readings.
What's going on the big scene? Yeah.
Although it does have, this cards in it that represent love and relationships and, divine partners as well. Okay, so I'm doing career. Ooh, these are good. Okay, I'm going to stop with 3. They're so good. I have the hot air balloons, I have the worry beads, and I have the convertible. So the hot air balloons is about finding balance. So whatever about your work situation, career, whatever, you either need to get balance or you should be seeking balance or you will be having balance coming in. So that's coming up. It's also about uplifting freedom. You think about a hot air balloon, it rises, it also is about going with the flow because it goes with the wind. The wind just pushes it, just rises up, rising up above. So I feel like, and also about a new perspective, because when you go up higher, you'll get a new perspective. So again, these are all kinds of pieces that can help give you cues about, I do need to kind of rise up above in order to get a bigger, broader perspective of things. It also talks about not resisting because a hot air balloon isn't going to work if there's resistance. If the balloon can't expand with the hot air rising into it, then it can't, end up taking the basket flying up in the air. Or if it resists the wind that pushes it, it can't get anywhere. Also being in that flow. And it does have something to do with ascension. So I feel like something about your career or work may change or is coming to, there's something that will be coming in changes that are going to be good and helpful on an ascension path. I believe the worry beads card came up because I think you may have some anxiety or worry around it, but your career situation. It also can just be about being bored. So even if you have no anxiety or fear, but you felt bored, disinterested, it's just like passing time, just not that there's something about it that hasn't been so great, or needs care, or it's too repetitive. That's been an element, or maybe that's something you want to shift around. But I do feel like it being next to the hot air balloon does talk about something will shift in that regard. So rising up above that is really what's here. And then this is the card that gives us the cue on how to achieve this rising up. And that is to be convertible, to be flexible, there's many options. Convertible can be with the top down, the top up, whichever way. You have that free will. Remembering that you have the free will is important. Adjacent possibilities, like you might be so focused on this and you're like, I want this, this, this. And then you're not seeing that literally right next to what you had in your mind was the actual path forward and the ability to, that you're so close, but it's just like, you just got to shift a little bit, change a little bit, and then you'll be on point. So keeping that in mind. Adaptable, all this potential, change, freedom, enjoyment. You have a convertible car and it's like, if the conditions are perfect, it's going to just be the most fun thing in the world to be able to drive down the highway with the top down, going with the wind, remembering that you do have alternatives, but you also have the preferences. Honor your preferences. Don't just allow yourself to be sucked into a boring old job or a job that gives you anxiety or worry. You have alternatives and you should definitely go with what you prefer. Debbie, what do you have?
Okay. All right. I pulled a bunch of different cards. The first thing I did was, of course, I reached for the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle. And there's 2 cards that came out. One is a Karmic Ties card and one is a Telepathic Message card. So the first thing that I got was that higher self is actually talking directly to Cinnamon Girl about this. you've been giving away your power to people in your life, and you need to learn to set boundaries. This message is coming from higher self.
Can you say the name of the card so I can find it? Both of them?
Sure. Karmic Ties.
Tell me the number.
Number 7.
Okay.
Yep. Karmic Ties number 7, and then Telepathic Messages card number 1.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because I'm kind of given a bunch of information at once. I'm trying to, it's all coming through me, and I'm just trying to sort it all out.
Okay, this is crazy. Really quick. Karmic Ties number 7 has a convertible on it.
Wow.
It's like almost the same car.
Oh my gosh. So this might be the issue that you're working on in order to manifest the relationship you're looking for, or even if you're in one, it's what the sticking point is what I'm getting. But there is also a telepathic message from that other, that they do feel your energy around them, or you're feeling their energy around you. One of the two. There's an energy around you of this person that is sitting there, either there and you haven't like broken through some boundaries or whatever, or they're coming in. But the 2 cards that I pulled, I actually pulled 3, but 2 from the Intuit Oracle. I got the Fish, which is all about resources, and I got the Milky Way, which is all about social media, publicity, and connection. So I want to say that part of love is feeling that you have enough of yourself, okay? Completely enough of yourself. This is so wild how this starts coming to me, but you've got Fish as the resources. So in a sense, it's like power away from yourself. You've been giving power away. I don't know if that means that, you've relied on people outside of you to bring you the money aspect of the abundance or whatever, or the resources, leave it at that, and maybe even the social. And what I'm getting is that in order to create and manifest this relationship the way you want it to be, you have to find that within yourself. Okay, so you have to find the resources within yourself, whether that is money or whether that's just any kind of resources. And then you also have to find your own social connection, your own spotlight on you, your own publicity on you. I hope that this makes sense. The other card that came up, I was looking at timing, not timing, but how possible things are. Right now you're at the element of water. This is a Dancer card. It's a Dancer card that has, Kimberley can probably maybe find it for you. It has a dancer dancing on a wave. Okay. This is an artistic card. It's a deeply fluid card. It's a very romantic card. So this card coming in makes me kind of feel that is the energy of that. I feel your energy around me and wonder if you're thinking of me. There is someone there. Mm-hmm. But you have to learn how to not give your power away to other people and set boundaries, if that makes any sense at all.
Okay, so she says, oh my God, and thank you, so true. She's bored and uninterested with her job right now and is not in a relationship right now. But it sounds like the reading resonated, so very good.
Cool. That's great.
Yay.
All right, hang on. I'm dropping cards all over here.
All right, I'll scroll up and see if I can find who's next after Cinnamon Girl.
Okay.
If I can find. So if anybody is just now joining us, go ahead and pop in a question. At this point, we can't guarantee we'll get to you, but...
Star Soul has a strong pull from her twin flame. She keeps saying that we are supposed to come together, travel together, teach and work together. What do the cards say for this with my divine masculine and myself? Oh, we like them. We like the questions.
Yes. Oh, I actually feel Zodiac 108 calling me. I was starting to pick up the Intuit Oracle, so I'm going to do the Zodiac.
All right. I'm going to pull, of course, the twin flame card first. Messages coming in from that person. Yeah, you guys,
Diana says she's confused. Was the last reading hers? No, we haven't read for Diana yet. Diana Lily. So, no, Diana. That last one was for Cinnamon Girl.
Yeah, we'll definitely
try to remember to say the name more often when we're doing the reading so that they can catch.
Yep, sorry about that. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now who am I reading for? What's her name again?
Star Soul.
Star Soul. Okay.
So this is about pull from the twin flame.
Twin flame. Yeah, so my first card up is Twin Flame card from the Zodiac 108 deck, the Flamingos, which is soulmates, lovers, union, courtship, dating, attraction, seduction, long-term potential, because they mate for life, displays of affection, two of a kind, the it factor. Okay, but we do have some things here that have, that are surrounding that. Energy surrounding that right now are blinders. Now, the blinders can have a lot of different kinds of meanings. It can be about somebody who's, so focused on one thing or one aspect that they're missing other parts around them. It can, not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, they put a blinders on the horse, especially in order to, actually protect the horse and help it be, more, achieve something. So I'm going to present kind of both, and maybe something will kind of come through as I'm talking. But I do feel like it's about that focus and being so super hyper focused. And I actually I'm feeling it's a good thing. I'm feeling it's a good thing with you guys. So whatever you're focused on I feel like that's the aspect here. And it is about going deeper. So whatever this focus is, it's helping you go deeper, or it is the going deeper, that deep dive, going within, 0 point, self-examination in the void. And, being in that, that's meditation, being in the void, self-reflection. And if you guys aren't doing this, or you haven't been doing this, then it's saying, that is what you should do. But I feel like that, or it will help the situation move forward, or in that place of that 0 point of going within, super focused on it, will help you discover and have the answers and the information come through in order for you to move forward in your union and in your mission together. What do you have, Debbie?
Yep. Well, the first thing that I always ask my inner self and my inner knowing when a question comes up about love is, what is getting in our way of manifesting that which we envision? So you're seeing that you're supposed to come together, travel together, teach, and work together. I'm always looking for, okay, what is it that's stopping that from happening in this moment of now? So there's always something that keeps us from being at that moment of now, because it's not quite time, or else you would be doing it, right? So the first thing that came up is, number one, communication. So the higher realm wants you to know that when your conversations are lighthearted and playful, it eases tension. Okay? That there is sometimes when you talk or you're communicating. Now, whether you're in contact with this person on the physical level or on that higher dimensions, this is just something that Spirit wants you to know. And also that you may tend to project patterns onto each other, which makes it more difficult to see what's real and what's fear-based thinking. So I'm not sure if these pertain to you or not, but it is, if we're not with that person right now, there's something holding us apart. And what I mean is if you haven't achieved that state, and I'm assuming you haven't because you keep seeing that you're supposed to come together, that these might be some things that you need to work on in order to get there, which is, again, our patterns. So working on our own patterns so that we don't project them onto the other people. And that any communication that you have, if you remember to keep it lighthearted and playful, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for the connection. Now, the good news is on all of this is that when I pulled 3 cards from the Intuit Oracle, I got the heart, the compass, and the archer. Okay. The heart talks about love, romance, fulfillment, passion, caring, bliss, being content. So it does seem to indicate that maybe where you're going. Now, where you're going, we get the compass, which is your true north. Okay, your true north is your life path, finding your way, knowing where you're going, and making a plan for it. And then the archer is careful aim, you're on target. It's about your go-to gal or guy. I'm assuming here is guy. And so those 3 cards together does sound like that's where you're headed, is to be in that place of union, because those are the elements of union.
Yeah.
So.
And I just pulled two more as you were talking because I was really resonating with what you were saying. And interestingly, I got another card that was similar to the scuba diver, which is the well. And then I got the declaration. So I'm going to just, this is totally connected with what you were saying. The well is deeper meanings to things, hidden meanings. It's going within. It's also about nourishing and resources, even social resources. You think about water, and a well makes it available for everyone. So that can also be, connected to your mission in some way. And I also feel that there is something about making a declaration, like really, and maybe you already have done this. So this is affirming that is very powerful here, or that is suggesting that you do. Really stake your claim, make a declaration, and, know it is so. Like when people do some kind of an incantation or spell work or whatever, or, a mantra, you repeat it and then you say, it is so, it is so, it is so, or something along that line. So really making a declaration of it, to anchor that in. But this well one is about looking deeper, but it's especially, to me, connected with that idea of mission here. So if a declaration in some way, kind of triggers something inside of you that helps you know. And Debbie, just again, say what the name of the person is we're reading for at the moment.
That was Star Soul.
Star Soul, yes. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Diana Lilly, who thought maybe that last reading or the one before was for her, she wants to know, her twin flame is being evasive, and she wants a love reading.
Okay, this is Diana? For Diana?
Yeah, this is okay. Diana Lilly.
Okay.
All right, and I'm just looking to see if there's any more aspects. Reading on relationships, too. Both Scorpios.
Okay, I was just reading Star Soul. Thanks for the feedback, Star Soul. That's great. So I hope that reading did help. All right, so we're on with Diana. Diana, we are doing a reading about what's going on with your twin flame connection, who is, you feel, is being evasive, right? Cool.
Yeah, I'm getting the answers here.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first, and then I'll do mine.
All right, well, hang on. I'm not ready yet. Well, I can just tell you the first card that came up is this person's going through a dark night of the soul, which is typical right now for a twin flame counterpart, especially the masculine. And that doesn't mean it has to be a man. It can be the woman that is of masculine energy, but they're going through a dark night of the soul, and nothing makes sense in this person's life. So if they're ghosting you, or if they're kind of pulling away, it really, let me just see what, I also got a communication card. You think I'm not listening to, but I am. I hear everything you say and even replay our conversations in my head. And the third card, this says a lot. My ego is fragile to criticism and rejection. I've created walls to protect myself. So it sounds to me like if this person is being a little bit ghosty, it's because they're going through their own shit right now. And the hardest part of the challenge of a twin flame path, or any catalytic heart connection path, is for us to understand that we entirely take other people's situations way too personally. And, sometimes the twin flame will actually literally go and attack you for something that they're going through in their own life. And what we have to be able to do is we have to be able to sort out what's theirs and what's ours. So if they're going through a dark night of the soul, you have to investigate. Am I going through a dark night of the soul? Am I the one that's creating this situation because I'm projecting it onto them? Or is this really them going through their own thing? You have to be able to go into your own knowing and know if this belongs to you or if it's theirs. So that's something you'll have to find out. Mm-hmm. And then literally being able to turn this back to them. This is their stuff. It is not my responsibility to shift it and change it. The only thing that I can do is hold my own sacred vibration so that I don't let them pull my vibration down, if that makes any sense. It does sound like this person is aware of what you're trying to say to them, and that they are, they do replay conversations in their head. They are listening. But boy, their ego is really fragile right now. So this is not anything that you can do anything about, as much as hold your own vibration. Right now, the divine feminine has to be holding their own vibration at as high of a level as possible. And sometimes that's probably the biggest challenge that there is. Number one, not taking it personally and making it your own problem. Like, oh, I've done something to create this. Letting the person take responsibility for their own stuff and turning it back to them, but holding them in a position of love where you stay in your higher vibration. It is not an easy thing to do, trust me. So I hope that helps.
So Diana said it's him. So that scenario was him. And what's interesting is that the cards I pulled had the snake right in the middle, which is about either deception or something toxic, or betrayal, or just silent treatment. It doesn't have to be all like that bad, but anything in that kind of element of just something that's just like a snake in a sense. And what is interesting is the raccoon, though, comes up, and I'm feeling like this raccoon is you, Diana, is wanting to be a problem solver. You are by nature a problem solver. You ask questions. You're adaptive. You're curious. You're creative. You're resourceful. You're clever. And I feel like there's, very strong, and this is actually very typical in a lot of these kinds of relationships, where we do want to solve the problem. We want to figure it out, or it's plaguing us because by nature we want to figure things out. But I do have the moon here, and the moon is talking about that subconscious mind, the intuition, recognition. It also talks about the divine feminine. And I feel like right now more than ever, we're entering a time where the divine feminine energies are being, they're rising up within all of us more than ever, and even within the divine masculine. So what really needs to, I think, happen here, and this is coming in, like that's why this is showing up here, but that divine feminine energy going deep within, and it's all very important to just kind of maybe allow this to come through on, from his side of things. And, it's okay for you to have this energy of these questions and all of that, but I think he needs to be allowed to work through that on his own. I got this card here, which was really beautiful. I think just an encouraging reminder. It says, our love is eternal. It exists in every dimension and cannot be lost. So no matter what's happening on the physical plane, this is happening in the higher realms. And so, if that can help you stay in a higher vibration, just to remember that is the case. I hope that helps. All right. Go to another one.
We now have, Diana, if you want to just put some feedback on there and see if she has already. I'm not at the end. I'm way up at the beginning, not beginning, but I'm trying to get everybody's questions here. We've got Amy Van Arnhem. She wants to know if she'll be in a committed relationship this year. So this is a yes/no question. Typically with an Intuit Oracle deck, we try to rephrase questions so that they're more than a yes/no answer. So maybe we can rephrase that question to be, what do I need to do? Is there anything that I can do? And what would it be to find myself in a committed relationship this year? Does that sound like a good question? I mean, we do have yes/no question cards. Are you looking at the yes/no question cards?
I can, but I'm doing exactly what you're saying. I'm going to rephrase that in my question, but let's also do the yes/no for her just for fun. But I have pulled cards around. I do have them separated out, so I can do that as well.
Okay, I have some.
So I'll just go ahead and pull it since I've got them here, and then I can just pick it up and show it. And the cards that I got I pulled Intuit Oracle cards about, what can I do if, assuming the goal is to be, and Amy says that's fine, yes. The goal is to be in a relationship sooner rather than later. And so the things that came up for me were the child, clouds, dog.
Oh.
And then I'm going to set those down. And then hummingbird and woman. So we definitely got this, like, you've got it all within your hands that you came up here, a woman came up here for a reason. So I'm going to just go ahead and get what I have here. The child is about new beginnings. And of course, if you're wanting a relationship, then that's what we're talking about here. So new beginnings coming. But to have that new beginning, there's like the child card talks about being spontaneous, being carefree. Now, you can't really get into a place of truly honest carefree. You can't like put that on. It's something that has to be within. And so whatever it is within your field, in your energy that holds you in a place of doubt, because that's what the clouds are about, doubt, uncertainty, thoughts, even like mental patterns, hesitation, confusion, things aren't being clear. So getting to the bottom of that and digging in to find out what that is inside of yourself that is at the root of doubt and uncertainty that holds you, is not allowing you to really be that true childlike carefree nature. Your solution will be to get to the bottom of that and find the way.
That's funny. What
you need to do to rise up into that lightness of being. So I also have the hummingbird here, which talks about lifting up out of negativity, which the clouds are negative and dark and heavy and obscuring things. And then it says, be present, be resilient, lifting out of negativity, and the lightness of being. And then I have the dog, which is just about a friend, a very devoted friend. Like you guys saw my little dog. In fact, she's a Australian Shepherd like this one is. And it's like that trustworthy, faithful friend. So, be a friend to people, or, I think even whether it's, without any ulterior motive, just putting yourself in that frame of being a friend to the people that you know. And then that will be something I think that will energetically spread out toward that attraction of, here's somebody who is, I can depend on them. And then that is the kind of energy that does come and bring that into you. What do you have, Debbie?
Well, interestingly, diving deep and all of that, like I got a library, I got the bodybuilder, and I got the pearl. So if you want to, I don't know if you want to show those cards.
Yeah.
In terms of being in a committed relationship, we can create any kind of committed relationship we choose, actually. It's just, is it just a committed relationship, or is it the one that is, how am I trying to say this? The first thing that came to me is we can choose anybody that we want to be in a committed relationship with that is interested in being a committed relationship. So we can manifest that, but the question is, will it be long-term? Will it be the kind of connection we're looking for? We cannot find that kind of connection. We can find anybody. We can literally be in a relationship with anybody. But to be in the kind of relationship I believe that you're speaking about, it is by getting the library, the bodybuilder, and the pearl. It's all about finding yourself, okay? Library is about knowledge. It's about looking beneath the surface. It's about digging in, researching, learning, okay? And I would say that's it, yourself, all right? Learning about yourself. It's always about yourself. Mm-hmm. Bodybuilder would become the most powerful you that you can be, to become disciplined in your own self-mastery, to become your own self-improvement exercise, your own, I want to say just your own best self. And it doesn't have to be a physical standpoint. It can be also just how you approach life, to be in that strength. Strength is the word. And then pearl is learning how to open up, learning how to dig deep, develop your character, come into your own pearl, right? The oyster shell's opening up to your own pearl. These characteristics are literally what it takes to create and manifest that kind of relationship I'm sure you're talking about. So that is a question that you can go meditate on in terms of, where am I in that? Have I done all of this work? Am I in my higher aspect? Am I floating above situations in my strength? If you are, then you will be manifesting that person. If you find yourself coming up, and I don't want to say hard judgment on ourselves, because we all beat ourselves up. If we're in the spiritual sense, we tend to beat ourselves up, sensitive. But if you can check all those boxes that you've done this kind of work, then sure, you can manifest that committed relationship, no problem. It's going to come when you have all of those elements. That's what I'm getting.
That was so good, Lisa. And sorry. I was just reading Lisa on the screen here, and so they came in my It was so good, Debbie. What I really love about you, the part of the reading that I did got like this more overview of it, the bigger picture, and then the Z108 just went deep and really specific. And it's actually one of the things that we do love about this deck. It actually, we have found in some ways it's almost so specific that if you draw too many cards, then it can be a little confusing, but just like 3 cards in that sense, that was perfect. We have someone, Angel Frog Lisa 2, who thinks she was missed. And so we'll just check and see if we accidentally skipped her and went down to another one. So just, hang on. We'll go back up here and see where we're at with our list. And so again, if
thanks
anybody,
for letting us know, Lisa. Oh yeah. Where's my DM, Adam, at in his journey? And what are my next steps in my own inner union? Sorry about that, sweetie.
And thank you for bringing it to our attention. Just to let anybody know who's just jumped on, we're working from the top and just literally going through. So if you hear us talking about somebody's name and we missed it, do let us know. So we're on Lisa.
Okay.
And
she wants to know where her divine masculine Adam is in his journey, and what are her next steps in her own inner union. What are you using? Are you using the Intuit Oracle?
I do. I'm using Intuit Oracle here.
All right. I'll grab the Z108.
Okay.
Just to get a little bit of challenge.
All right. So the first card up for me is the trophy card, which is about victory. So he is, having some success, or it's coming through. It's getting there, or he will have success. He's in the process of achieving something, but I have some more information here besides that does go in a lot more depth. So that victory in the area that he is having success, recognition, awards, and is having to do with the Lion card, which is about your ego,
wow,
in a sense, but it also is about self-esteem. So if this is someone who's struggled with self-esteem, then it's coming, like he's coming in through a process that's helping him resolve issues around self-esteem. He also is becoming more heart-centered, and that is one of the words on the Lion card, because the lion is about it's Leo. Leo is very heart-centered. So we have that, but then I have some more specifics here. As we do have something coming along, and maybe this has already occurred that has brought him to this point, but I also feel like it's kind of like a next step. The next thing is the tornado. There is a storm brewing. You know how it is, like these journeys, they don't ever we have like these periods of growth, and then we kind of have this where it's plateau and smoother, and then we have another period of growth where it gets rocky and a little, that. So I do feel like he is having some success around that one area, but then there's going to be another kind of something coming in that will tear some things up. That there could be a sudden, unexpected end, a breaking down of something. Something is over and done. But actually, really, ultimately, though, is a liberation. So we might think of a storm or a tornado being a scary and awful thing, but in the end, when something does get destroyed that needed to be destroyed, that energy of the tornado, it's kind of like tower energy in the tarot, can be actually a good thing. I have the lighthouse, which does talk about a warning. You think about a lighthouse, it's a guide. It shows it's a guidance system. It's a good thing, but it also shows us where to watch out for the rocks. And so I feel like these coming up together is that he's got some situation or circumstance or development that will be, a bit rocky. And yet there is a warning. He's getting information. He's getting insights. He's getting, he's going to get something from this. It's not like just a storm that tears everything up. And I feel like, we also just remember we have the victory card starting out with that. So like, I feel like there will be definite success about that. And then the last card was the hummingbird, which is about being present and coming into that very high vibrational light, and very on your toes kind of thing, that the hummingbird can go in any direction just instantaneously. It can hover and it can go forward, back, up, and down. And so that's that rapid response, resilient. So whatever he goes through, it might be choppy waters, might be difficult there for a time, but he will rise up out of it. And he will have this resilience with it, and it will bring him into a higher, lighter, brighter place of living, being, and doing. So what do you have, Debbie?
Okay, so we're just answering the first question with, where is my divine masculine at?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got the checkered flag right away.
Ooh.
Jumped right out, which means, reaching the end, finishing first, achievement, the end of this
very
race.
Similar to this victory card, trophy card.
Exactly. And also got, believe it or not, the equinox card, the timing card, which is the number 11 that's in the twin flame deck. And that's the next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. Well, we're right here at the equinox. So this card does ask to pull another card, which I did. 2 cards leaped out at the same time. So one of these 2 cards is the answer to that, or both, which is really interesting. Number 1, this person is saying to you that you think I'm not listening to you, but I am. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But I also I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Nothing makes sense in my life. So I want to say one of 2 things, and I kept going back and forth on this. It's possible that, Lisa, you are maybe feeling the dark night of the soul, or he has just come out of the dark night of the soul, and that's what the checkered flag is about. I feel that the communication card was more an answer to the what's important shift's going to happen. Mm-hmm. But, that's just something you're going to have to, maybe even Kimberly, maybe she'll even just jot a note to you. If there's anything about the dark night of the soul going on. I did also ask, what are the next steps for Lisa in her own inner union? And I got really good cards, which made me think maybe the dark night of the soul is not her. But what I got was the heart and home. And this is from the Zodiac 108. I got heart and home, bonfire, and tools. Okay? All of these cards are extremely positive in that they're about happiness, security, enthusiasm, community, getting things going, having established comfortable things, okay? And the tools is a practical ability, having what it takes. So well prepared. So I'm thinking that this dark night of the soul, I want to put it over here with the checkered flag. This might be what this conclusion is, and listen, it says the solstice or the equinox. The solstice could mean the next solstice, which is December, correct? Isn't it? Solstice? Summer solstice.
Summer solstice, yeah.
Right. So it could be summer. It doesn't have to be equinox now. But I do believe that whatever this, if it's right now at the equinox, he's coming through the dark night of the soul, finishing up, or if he's going through the dark night of the soul now, that by the summer equinox, he will have completed that. It does seem, Lisa, that you have, all of the cards are coming up really positively for the next step in your own inner union. So when that's the case, the next step for your own inner union is to recognize that you are not dependent upon where he is in order for you to be okay and to maintain being okay. I would say that that's what your next step is in your own inner union, is maintaining it regardless of what else is going on around you, if that makes sense.
Who's typing here?
Okay.
Okay, so just because we just have some people that might have joined and not heard us from the beginning, and someone was just asking about how to purchase our cards, and we are right now just using our 3 decks because we are wanting to show people how we use them. So we're using the Intuit Oracle, which was my original deck. It's no longer in print, but we did just raise the money to reprint it. So it's getting printed right now. It's almost finished and will be sent here. And I'll be mailing them out to all the Kickstarter backers and anybody who pre-orders the deck, as well as the Zodiac 108. We did a Kickstarter for that, and it's being printed at the same time. We'll be in the same shipment. And so
they're all going to be shipped at the end of April.
And likely the end of April. They all come in a box the same as this, only designed different for each deck. And it's really cool because it does have the magnetic flip lid. It's a very elegant box, and we have a very special thing inside of the box. Is a little bag with some gemstones, and I have tourmalated quartz in the Intuit Oracle. The Zodiac 108 has a mixture of 12 different stones that I selected to represent signs of the Zodiac. And the Twin Flame Oracle deck will have tourmalated quartz and rose quartz in it. So, but that deck will not be delivered probably because we're still raising the money to print it. Then we have to go through that whole printing process, which takes time, usually about 4 or 5 months. So that will come probably in August. So just a little bit of information about our decks.
We did meet our goal, which is really good.
Yes, it will.
We've already met our goal. Yeah, we've met our goal, so it's definitely getting printed, and we're getting that process underway. And we just continue to raise money because it tells us how many decks we can print. Right. We print as many decks as we can with what we raise.
Yeah, all the money goes into printing and shipping of the decks.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
100% of the money for Kickstarter goes to that, and we only start making profit once we have decks in hand and continue to make sales. So anyway, and for those of you who don't know, we also we're planning on being both of us on screen, and we just had technical issues. That's why Debbie's on my cell phone.
I know,
and
right?
It's frustrating for us because we've actually had a lot of experience with being on camera together. We host another show that is not anything to do with tarot and oracle cards that we've done together. Plus we have this enterprise that's not for making money. That's just something we do for kind of mission. And then we have this enterprise that she's my business partner in for the Intuit Oracle. Debbie is the amazing marketing director. She actually owns her own marketing company. But of course, she's on the twin flame path, spiritual, light worker, starseed, all of that. And we just got connected, and she loved my deck so much that she was like, I would definitely be interested in partnering with you on this. And so we're just, equal partners in this enterprise. And we're just a little indie company. I've only been doing this for a couple of years. We're learning the ropes, and we do appreciate all of the people who are so enthusiastically using our cards and appreciating them. I'm the creator. I do all of the design and that. Although Debbie also helped co-author the Zodiac 108. She did the words to them, and together we worked on that, and it was really fun to work on that with her. So, and this deck, current Kickstarter going on for the Twin Flame Oracle, which we partnered with Marla Kelly from Twinstrology to produce. All right, so we do have some more questions, I think, but we are getting close to our end of our 2-hour time. So about 15 more minutes here. We can probably do a couple more readings.
Let's see if we can. Yeah, we'll do this again, guys, and we'll continue to put out events on Facebook, which if you're not following us on Facebook, Intuit Oracle, you'll want to get on there. And I'm trying to think. We also have a Intuit Oracle Lenormand Tarot group that you can join. And I'm going to put the link, not right this second, but before we sign off, I'm going to put the link. Let me see if I put it in our description.
Debbie. I just did it.
Well, I was going to say, put the link tree, the link tree link.
Oh, okay.
Because that has all of our links.
Okay, I don't have that off.
To do that.
I don't have that.
I was going to say, right. So if we don't get to you, we're going to try to move along here. But if we don't get to you, please just join us for the next time. We would love to read for you. Okay, hang on a second. Let's see if we can. I had it. Where'd it go? Oh gosh. Here it is. Diane Borman. Will I meet a good man this year? Okay. So how do we want to read this? probably the same kind of question. What do I need to do to be in a position to meet the right person?
Yeah. Let's see where so this is for Diane, you said? Diane
Borman. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually pull a twin flame card and see what this person that's coming in, no matter when they come in, has to say to her first. Okay, that jumped. Okay, well, this is interesting. So I watch you on social media and the internet. It's my way of staying close and finding out more about you. So there might be someone that's already noticed you on social media. Right? That's the first thing I'm getting. So will you meet? Oh, okay.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I just have to say something. I accidentally shuffled my zodiac cards. I usually keep these separate because I like to just pull them when I want to. And I accidentally shuffled them back in the deck and a Cancer came out, a King of Water. So I feel like it's very possible this person either has, water signs or, King of Water, has water signs in his chart or prominently, or is an actual Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, etc. So that is interesting, but it's also a timing card, and it does say 1 to 3 months or during the summer in that time frame, overall summer, or June 22 to July 21, which is Cancer is a sign. So Cancer, that might be something relevant for you. And then go ahead, Debbie, if you had something else your flow.
I pulled a timing. It's a timing card. It's a yes/no kind of card. And it was the mutable card, the dancer card from the Intuit Oracle, and it says maybe more information needed. So I'm still pulling.
So we're doing the right thing by going in a little deeper.
Right. Interesting though. I watch you on media and internet, so it may be that this person is already there.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Also, it's the mutable sign. Also says to be open-minded, adapt. They're very adept. They have the perfecting touch. They can see both sides of things. They're empathic. Don't know why I couldn't do that word. All right. So the cards that I got of what she's like, what can I do? I actually feel, my friend Diane, I feel like it's just really in God's hand. And I don't really think there's anything you really have to do other than maybe perhaps what you're already doing, or maybe this is just coming up to say you've been doing the right things. You're on the right track. I have divine timing, divine intervention, the double rainbow. It's about perfect timing. It's about ascension. So you do have an ascension partner coming in. And I just have the anchor. This is the part that I'm saying that I feel like you've really been doing the right thing, or there's nothing really other than what you've already been doing. The anchor is very grounded. It's secure and stable, enduring, solid, steady, has willpower, fortitude, has the advantage. I feel like you have all that already. And then I have the bridge, which is really about, crossing over barriers. It is communication. It's uniting. It's connecting. It's like, you might right now think it's such a barrier. I don't know when this person will ever come in, or if it'll ever happen, or whatever. But the bridge coming up really assures you that I feel like you're in the bridge phase now, and you'll get to that other side where you will have that. You've been doing the right things. That, and even Rainbow Bridge. I don't know if you guys, on this ascension path, we talk about the Rainbow Bridge. It's literally, that energy coming into that higher perspective, higher, way of living, being, and doing. And so they kind of go together in my mind as well.
There's definitely someone there.
I had him pop out.
Yeah. Well, this particular card says when they look into your eyes, they see the universe and it activates them. So there's someone already that's seeing you from social media. I'm getting the impression that it might be someone that you've known for a long time, that they're afraid to let you know how they feel. Because they're saying, I feel the message also is coming in from the, I'm using the Twin Flame deck, I'm using the Intuit Oracle. There's something that's saying they're afraid you're gonna pull away. They're triggering the fears that you'll leave for good. It's almost like I want to think that maybe this person is in your life as a friend, and they really, really care about you more than they think. And I've got the squirrel and the Wolverine as well. So it's like a very fierce energy. Like they really like you. Like they really like you. And it like the squirrel is about giving lip service. They're prepared to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, and they're secretive. They don't want you to know that they feel this way because they're so afraid you're going to walk away. So interesting. I will be really interested to find out if that is in fact the case, because it does seem like there's already someone there. Now, how you'll feel about this person, I have no idea, but you asked if someone's coming in. Will you meet a good man this year? My answer is, you may have already met him.
Yeah, so, or if not, he's on the outskirts, very close to coming in.
Right. Yep. Okay. All right.
I just saw, and I was trying to scroll through to find out where we're at, and I see Lorraine here is saying, thanks anyways, take care and stay safe. So I don't know if she's already logged off.
Well, I'm just looking to see if there's, Samantha wants a message from her best person too.
Is that who's next? Is Samantha next? Did we skip, did we miss Lorraine? Because I thought I saw her pretty far up. So
Lorraine, hang on. Lorraine, hello.
Yeah, in fact, she would. Yeah, well, she asked hello. And then she says, "Can I get a reading?" And then she
we can go over a few minutes. Let's just see. Yeah. Okay, can I get a reading? Yes, she did. All right, let's just read for her.
And Lorraine, hopefully she is still on, and if not, then we'll go to her questions, and maybe we can. Hopefully she'll come back.
Let's just, I was going to say, yeah, let's just quickly, because we don't know if she's, all right, so she wants a quick reading. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull Intuit Oracle.
And I'll do Zodiac 108. She says she was wondering about soul path and still feels floundering and mindset with everything going on. Trying to have a mindset to be grateful that this too shall pass, have to move again, and have financial and medical situations. And hard
so
with
she's having
children,
a hard
grandchildren, kind of issues. Okay.
Oh.
Well, interesting. She's like talking about having to move again and some kind of things. I have the hammock card, and one thing about the hammock card is it does talk about being suspended between two things or in limbo. But it also does talk about recovery, relaxing, and being in that suspension. So it's just interesting. Go ahead, Debbie.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, it's so, I want to say that two big animals came up, the white wolf and the bear, okay? There is definitely, you have mama bear energy around you protecting you, is what I'm getting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I also got the island, which means you're feeling kind of alone. You're feeling kind of in isolation, a little bit like on your own right now. But I want you to know that you have the energy of the white wolf and the energy of the bear around you. The white wolf is about confidence and trust. I cannot say this more firmly enough. You must trust the universe at this time. Okay, that's coming from my own inner knowing. You must believe in your own power. You must believe that everything has a really good outcome. That is the key to pushing through and stopping being in this between two places.
Look what I have, Debbie. I have the chess. I have the chess card, which is literally about grand design, strategy, a master plan. There is a course of action, and really trusting. And because Debbie was getting that divine. Oh, and I have the map, which is about that exploration, finding your way, unknown destination. New territory, planning and prepare for that, reading signs, getting a new perspective. You will figure it out. So there is a plan, there is a strategy, there is a, there's a plan here to all of this. There's a reason for it.
It's so hard. It's one of the reasons why, as soon as I heard that she was leaving or whatever, I was like, we have got to do a reading for this person. Because I'm getting this so strongly. Right now, what people need to understand is that we are at some of the most biggest precipice for change. You need to hang in there. Mm-hmm. And the thing that you need to do is have faith. it's so hard sometimes for us to understand how the universe can work out problems that just seem so overwhelming to us. I mean, to be honest with you, when we were getting ready to go live, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, this isn't going to happen. But the answer came to me from the stillness. I stopped myself and the answer came. Let Kimberly go live. Just Kimberly, go live. This is your deck. You can do this. You do this. And it was what was meant to be. And when we get out of our own way and we allow the universe to solve our problems for us, instead of thinking we know, you will be surprised at how much this universe is going to come to your rescue. Things are always working out for you. So Lorraine, that's the very biggest message that I have for you right now. Things are always working out for you. And please do not be afraid. Okay?
I have something really specific here. Oh, go ahead.
Well, just one more thing.
Okay.
I pulled a twin flame card as a message from the higher self. Your thoughts are creating. I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. I know I need to stay positive. Are you? That is it right there. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, your higher self is saying to you, you are creating your reality. Get in there and say, this is already taken care of and done. Okay, go ahead, Kimberly. Sorry.
And I just want to pull back up to the hammock card about that, because that is literally what the hammock does say. Yes, you're suspended between two things, but you can find relief, and you find relief through meditation, being inactive. Recovery is coming in this time of time off and this pause. So it might feel like, all of this is falling apart around you, that your family is abandoning you, children, grandchildren, whatever, and aren't there and aren't showing up for you. But there's something in that is actually going to give you an opportunity for healing that you couldn't have had if they were all there. Now, this is also connected to what came up here. So I have this card, the pillory, and this is one that's like, Debbie, didn't we? But we know that for a deck to be effective, it has to have voice for all kinds of different situations. And this pillory is like, it's about punishment. You're feeling punished. You're feeling dishonored. This is about, like if you were stuck, if a person is put in a village square in a pillory, you're feeling dishonored. You're feeling stuck. You're feeling, like you're out in the middle. Shame. Yeah, out in the middle of.
Go ahead.
You have nowhere to run. Public ridicule, mockery, censure, serving time, abusive, being shut down. You're caught and you feel like there's no way out. But right next to it is the rings. And the rings is contracts, agreements, strong connections, like-minded people, a committed partner, interconnected, and soulmate. These very people in your life that are, causing some of this feeling to come up it's actually a soul agreement, a soul contract for growth for both of you. It doesn't mean it's nice to go through. It doesn't mean it's comfortable or enjoyable. But going back to the chess and the map, there is a strategy to this. There is a game plan to this. It's happening for a higher purpose and a higher reason. It is a soul contract that that these things are experiencing. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck in the situation. So you might feel stuck, but then we're also told, instead of feeling like this woman is just sitting there also, think about it. Someone who's in a pillory, that's kind of a perspective. I'm stuck in this. There's nowhere I can go. I'm stuck. My arms are stuck. My hands are stuck. Or you can be in a very kind of similar position and say, wait a minute, I'm going to do this right now. Instead, I'm going to go within. Instead, I'm going to escape into this inside of me, into source, connecting to source, which is what the time off, the separation actually gives you time and ability to do.
Yep. All right. Samantha Perez says, can I get a message from my best person too? And I'm already doing that because I want everyone to get it. Interesting. You're getting a message, Samantha, that's saying your person is going through physical ascension symptoms. The body feels depleted and they need space, but it's from a higher perspective. It's releasing old energy.
Which card one is it? Number and suit?
Number 10, growth.
Growth. Okay.
All about growth. So it sounds like your best person is in the process of doing ascension work. Hang on a second because I just sorted through my cards. Didn't mean to. All right, hang on. Let me just keep going.
So, yeah. So, I know that these times when they're being silent, when they're not talking, when whatever, it's hard. But understanding there's a reason for it. I have the key, which is about solutions. So, like, actually what they're going through is the solution for coming into union. It's exactly what's needed. They're going through physical ascension symptoms. That's going to ultimately solve, separation. That's what, as within, so without. They're going inside to come into unity within themselves. I got a timing card. I got a Capricorn. So if you're dealing with somebody who is Earth signs, King of Earth, or a Capricorn, timing is within a year. So whatever this is whatever's going on with this could, be something that looks like it'll be resolved within a year. I'm not saying it will be a year, but within a year.
The message from your best person too. And I don't, at this point, Samantha, I'm not sure if you're with this person or if it's the person that you have coming in. But that person is going through ascension and they're beginning to focus on their mission. Okay. And you're part of the mission. So whatever connection you have with this person, you have a part to play in their mission. That's just the cards that are coming up for me. I'm still pulling. What have you got, Kimberly?
Yeah. So what I got was the moon. So going, that higher mind, that higher perspective going within. It's, the High Priestess card. And then I have the hummingbird, which just invites us and reminds us to stay present, be in the moment of now, and be resilient, lifting out of negativity. And the stork, which is about transformation. One thing about the stork card I have another card in the deck that is about transformation, also has a phoenix on it. To me, that's talking more about the spiritual and internal transformation. The stork is more physical transformation. It's literally transformation in a physical sense in life. So, including change, renewing, arriving or departing, and renovations or just moving. So I feel like there is some kind of physical movement you're going to end up seeing with this eventually. It's not just going to be all this internal stuff he's going through, internal change. There also will be as within, so without. You're going to have that physical change show up as well.
I agree, especially with the two more cards that I got, because from the Zodiac 108, I got two cards jump out at me. One was within a few weeks. So the situation or event in question will develop or unfold within a matter of weeks. And I got the tandem bicycle along with that, which is all about partnership, unison, togetherness, simpatico, hookup, harmony, two of a kind. Okay, so it does seem like whoever we're talking about, this is developing very quickly. Okay?
All right. So Debbie, did we finish our list from higher up? Because we did have someone else just pop in. Do you know where we were?
I'm looking. Just give me a minute here. Let's see. So Megan, we already talked to her. Megan, Lorraine. Lorraine. Okay, we did Lorraine's Cotter, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's who we
okay, divine guidance, yes. Hello, everyone. Sorry here. I'm just like...
I kind of think we did, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling some cards for Barbara.
Oh, Barb.
Yeah, Barbara. So Barbara Black, you just hopped on and you got lucky because we're just finishing.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you know her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got to read for Barb.
Okay. She wants you to answer. Yeah, she's like, hi, Deb.
Right. I'd like to find out how WB is making out in our lengthy separation. Barb, you're so funny. We stay away this time if I find someone else and take steps to move on. Is there someone
Robbie, yes. Soon? I did see Robbie. I did see you higher up. So while you're pulling cards for Barbara, I will pull cards for Robbie.
All right.
Sorry, Robbie, that we missed
First, Barb. All right. First, Barb, what I'm going to do is, let me see here. How is he making out? Oh, let's post some messages from the Twin Flame deck, shall we? Let's find out what old Warren is thinking about. What's he doing? What's he thinking about? Give me a sec.
Robbie, if you wouldn't mind, can you just throw your question again, Robbie? Because I'm scrolling up and it's too far up. I remember seeing you higher up. If you could just do that again, that would be fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is interesting. Okay, So Barb, the question, the first one that came up is karmic ties. So we got karmic ties of I am not happy. Okay, so this is how he's handling your long-term separation. I'm not happy. Karma, behaviors, people, or situations are playing a role in what's happening with me, and it's hard for me to see a way out. And guess what? It also says karmic ties. My heart is with another right now. But you know what? What I got very strongly, it's the second part that applies to you. I have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. Hate to say it, girlfriend, he's still got that stupid karmic situation that's going on. That this is why you guys are not there. And you're so smart to do what you're doing, which is say no, all right? The other card I got was being mirrors for each other's makes love, self-love so important. I wish I was there to love you, but if I'm not, I want you to love and nurture yourself. Oh my God, okay? There couldn't be anything more clear. His inability to move on from his situation completely, as in, okay, I don't want anything to do with the ex anymore, I want to be with you or whatever, is directly in relation to how happy you are in loving and nurturing yourself. So it does seem that there might just, girlfriend had just a little bit more work to do on that. Don't feel bad. We all got that going on. And let me just pull, I'm going to pull Zodiac 108. Hang on.
Thanks, Robbie, by doing that. Thank you, Robbie. And I've pulled the cards. As soon as Debbie's done with that, we're going to dive right into yours.
Oh, and you want to ask about another. That's so funny.
Thanks, Lorraine.
All right. The only thing that I can say, Barb, is that I got the map. All right. I got the map and I got the mirror. I'm sorry. This is literally about this is all a self-exploration, my dear. This is all, and you know what? Asking about that another is you. That's all I can say. Because I got the mirror, which is about seeing clearly. It's about facing issues. It's about self-improvement. It's about insecure. And it's also about finding your way. The map is about finding your way, the lay of the land, charting a course, reading the signs, and figuring it out. This is more important than another because you are the other. You are the other that you're searching for. You're not going to find it in WB. You're only going to find it in yourself. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about because I think I finally did that. And it took you know how many years to do that. And now it's not even necessary for another.
Yeah.
So
I concur in my own experience. Same way. All right. So
Kimberley, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So Robbie. So she says that she used to feel connection with her twin flame, but now feel you met them in a past life. Kind of weird. Just wondered what you could read. Well, it's definitely a past life connection. I got, big affirmation. The first card that came up was the ring. So you guys were married in a past life. It's about, diamond ring. It's proposal, engagement, marriage, union. I have the ship, which talks about, going places, traveling. I even feel just like that, traveling through time, connection. But I also feel like it could be that this connection does have, like, even in this current lifetime, is going somewhere. Like there's some place for it to go. So again, whether you read this for that past, maybe Debbie will get some kind of intuition on it as well. I have the loons, which is that deep, deep commitment. It's also about reawakening lost hopes. This is one reason why I feel like this connection has come to you to reawaken lost hopes, whether it ends up being that person or someone else. It's reaching you and touching you within a place inside of you that had lost hope. Like there was in the past life, a situation that both of you felt was just hopeless. And it maybe even has something to do with a ship. Perhaps in a past life, there was something to do with sailing. Maybe somebody was lost at sea or something like that. But this is about reawakening that lost hope, manifesting your deepest desires. And the loons just come up in order to tell you that you have the ability within you to manifest your deepest desires. So this connection has had something to do with that, helping you see. It's kind of like how can you know what to ask for when you don't even know what you want? That was a line from a movie I was just watching last night. Actually, you guys, it was a really good, it's a movie based on The Secret, the book, The Secret. And it's so funny because I was, sitting down to watch a movie, and I was going to watch something else. And I think it was Netflix was not loading no matter what I tried to load up. It just wouldn't do it. And so I was like, okay, then I'm going to go to Amazon. And I went to my Amazon Prime account and ran into this other movie, and it was 1,000 times better than what I was going to watch. So highly recommended. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's based on The Secret. I don't know if it's called The Secret, but if you type in The Secret, that'll come up. And that's what they said. It's like, if you don't know what you want, how can you know what to ask for? This person has come into your life or came into your life to help you know what you want and to help reawaken that lost hope. Again, I'm just going to say it may not be that this is the person for you in this lifetime, but that's the role they played. And perhaps it is the person, but just want to put that out there. I do have the Archer here, which is your go-to guy or gal. It also says you're on target, you're on point, you're focused, you're with this person, or something about this person that is helping you bring this into focus. It is a matchmaker. The person may be acting in your life in some way as a matchmaker, which is, again, what I was talking about here, that helps you end up finding what inside of you really want, and then ends up opening up the way for that other person, maybe another person, to come into your life, the go-to person, the real, the match for you that you're meant to have. I don't know why I keep saying that, but somehow I feel like it could be that this person isn't the one. I'm not saying that they're not. They may be as well, but just I'm feeling like that's coming through. And then the ladybug is about having an abundant, vibrant, happy life, comfort, leisure, your wishes coming true. It's right in with the loons that talk about awakening lost hopes. Then I finally did draw 2 cards from the Twin Flame Oracle, and one of them was, please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. And I just want to advise, of course, that you take this however resonates with you. If you know this one particular person we're talking about is not someone that you can contact, or you're feeling called to contact, then maybe it's talking about, contact me in a spiritual sense, make connection with me, that way, because the actual kind of message with this is, I have the man in the front here in like clear, and then the woman, I faded her out a little bit. It's kind of like that ghost kind of thing. So there could be that element of, this is someone that you should contact through, psychically, through your own telepathically, or maybe in person, but that's up to you. And then the second one does say that there is an energy around this of, I'm afraid you're going to meet someone else before I'm ready to be with you for good. So it could be that this person does have some kind of fears around that, or maybe that was in the past life situation. So take that however that resonates. Debbie, I don't know if you had anything come to you with what I was reading or not.
I actually was looking at our list of people, so I really didn't.
Okay, that's
I noticed
fine.
We missed someone, and I'm just going to go ahead and find this person's question and pull cards for them.
Oh, yes. Angel, yes, that was with Katie Holmes, right? And Josh Lucas. They were the ones in the movie. And thank you, Robbie. She said that the ladybug is always her lucky sign. So that was really great. And I have to tell you, the loons are this is literally my top spirit animal. And when I created this deck, and then it came in the mail, my first test deck, and I did a card reading, and the very first card out was the loons. And I have discovered a lot of times that when I have, a readings with someone, one of the cards in the deck will literally be their perfect card for them, which, like the ladybug, was for you. So that's awesome.
Yep. All right. I'm pulling cards for I Am Ether. Wants to know what does my higher self need to let me know that I've not been able to receive? So the first thing I do when I get a higher self question is I am looking at the Twin Flame Oracle, because we all have the divine feminine masculine counterpart, whether you're in a twin flame connection on this planet in this lifetime or not, you still have that other aspect of yourself or your higher self on the other side. So a lot of times these cards will answer that question. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this. Okay, that's not helpful. Sometimes they're helpful. Okay, hang on. All right, I don't feel that the ones that I pulled are definitely coming from something else. I'm just going to tell you what they are. And I don't think that this pertains to you, but maybe they do. Who am I to say? Higher self needs to let you know, is there a possibility that you're having a really hard time right now? Because I got that I'm going through a dark night of the soul and nothing in your life makes sense. So that may or may not, the way you worded the question makes me believe that you're already receiving information. And if you were going through a dark night of the soul, you most likely would know it. But, you know, sometimes we don't know that things are super hard for us. The other two messages that I got from that deck are, words have hurt me in the past, and that's why I fear talking to you, which I think comes from outside yourself rather than your higher self. But my heart is opening to love and guiding me back to you. That one I did get. And that may be just your message coming to you that says that your heart is in the process of opening and that you are returning actually to your authentic self. I'm not done here, though. I'm still pulling cards. I thought, okay, something's happening now. Oh my gosh, I got timing cards. Like, things are changing. They're in a state of flux. And it's happening now. And at this time, the situation is unchanging. And I got it with the handcuffs, which is about control. It's about a need to break free. It's about feeling powerless. It's about feeling incapacitated. It's feeling suppressed. So, I don't know. I mean, gosh, our lives right now, if you're in most places in the world, you may be feeling a little bit of this energy. But what it's saying is that, and maybe that's, you know what, maybe this is coming up, okay? Dark night of the soul. Let's just talk about that for a moment. Dark night of the soul could very well be feelings of feeling closed down. I mean, who hasn't been feeling closed down? We've been reaching out through forums like this so that we don't feel closed down because we're literally closed down, okay? And the situation has seemed unchanging. Higher self is, I'm getting this message is coming in for just about everybody here, okay? This isn't just for I am ether. This is coming for everybody. That feeling in those handcuffs that we're I'm saying a lot of people are feeling this way, held down, under control. This is, you know, talk about masks, talk about being locked down. People are being locked down all over the world. Dark night of the soul being something from a higher perspective, okay? And at this time, the situation is stable and unlikely to change, okay? That thought right there is enough to precipitate the dark night of the soul. So what I'm getting now, though, is that what's happening now is changing. Because of this, it's changing. Because of the fact that it's unchanging, we're changing it. Okay, so the dark night of the soul, actually, I feel like this is coming through for all of us, guys. We need to open up our heart more, and we need to go into that heart, and we need to find that part of us that absolutely insists on our freedom. Absolutely insists on our freedom, that it's time to change this. It's time to change that feeling of being powerless, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in work situations. It's time to change it. And the only way we're going to change it is through our heart centers.
Yeah, okay, that's really powerful. And I was feeling that today too. That's an energy. That energy is out there. And here we are at this solstice, which actually is a really good kind of wrapping up reading, Debbie. I love that you know you're feeling this is really something for all of us here because we chose this day to do the reading because of being the solstice where things are coming into balance, and where from this point on, you know, we're going to end up starting to see some changes. after we bring in the balance. So it's really good. But I was feeling that today, hiking on the mountain before I came down here. I was just like, it just feels like nothing is changing. And then my higher guidance was coming in and like, oh, but just wait. It might feel that way. It feels like nothing has changed in the last, it's been a year since we all went onto this lockdown, and it doesn't feel like things have gotten better yet,
But what I think that message was coming through, guys. I'm not done. I'm sorry. I'm not done. We're oh my God, guys! I just pulled 2 cards: the Twin Flame and the Celtic Knot. We're talking about the solstice. No, sorry, we're talking about the equinox. Oh, and you got the ostrich?
I got the ostrich, and then I got this still. And the still is about refining things. And, that like if this is actually like a little essential oil still, but, any kind of refining, concentrating it down. And it isn't a very comfortable process if you're the little flowers or whatever that they picked in order to, extract the oil out of it. But by the time it finally is finished, it's amazing. It's like all of the goodness is just down to a few drops. And that's what we're really going through. The problem is what's frustrating is that, we also feel like there's a lot of this avoidance all around us. We're like,
ostrich.
Yeah. Fear-based thinking. There's so much fear-based
people
thinking.
With their head in the sand.
Running for cover, feeling threatened, refusing to face reality. But instead, this is what it feels like. But what I feel is really happening. It's kind of interesting too. We have look at the mirror. Look at that.
Wow.
See how like the cup, the sand, and then the kind of interesting. But what's really happening is the refinement. And so even though like that's what they were telling me on the mountain today, it's like this time of being uprooted. All of us were uprooted from this matrix. In fact, it's interesting that what I was being shown was like plants being uprooted. And then I'm hearing the matrix, and I'm like, oh, actually. And when you're planting something, they actually call the dirt the matrix the matrices or whatever that's a term that they use for like what matrix did you plant it in? Well, I planted it in peat moss. I planted it in whatever. So we were uprooted from that matrix in order for that matrix to change. If we'd all been stuck in it, like the uprooting is how everything changed so much in 2020. It changed everybody's lives. So uprooted all of us in a sense, in some way, from this whole entire matrix so that we could like sweep that matrix away and give us a new way to root ourselves into. And that feels like a dark night of the soul when you're going through it.
That's exactly what was coming with that dark night of the soul with I Am Ether's reading. Can I just sort of add the crowning touch on all of this as we're closing out this reading? I was shuffling. I knew I was not done. The Intuit Oracle was speaking to me, and 2 cards jumped out. The Twin Flame card, which is a new addition to the new deck. It flew out with the Celtic Knot.
Oh, wow.
These 2 cards are the two. Well, we've got the Twin Flame card now. We did it before, but the Celtic Knot I've always thought of. It's unconditional love, divine union, eternal love, love of a lifetime, connected, infinity, enduring. We've got that with the Twin Flame card, which is all about the catalytic heart awakening, coming into the yin-yang balance between the feminine and masculine energies. And guess what? I got with it the eagle. So here we are at the equinox with this huge shift that's coming. And this is all about leaping into this new energy. And this is a lot about why the Twin Flames came, because this is where we're headed. We're headed the eagle, which is soaring, okay? Challenging the status quo, moving into the new. It's about the new hope, the clear vision for the future. It's incredible. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys,
that's great.
I think that about wraps it up. We are 2.5 hours in. We definitely are going to do this again. We love doing this. And next time, we will both be on camera because I'm going to figure this one out. Oh, yeah. Pearl, we loved having you too. What'd you pull? Oh, you were showing the eagle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys.
Thank
well,
you,
thank
Natalie.
You so
thank
much.
you, everyone. We still have 10 people on, and I think at one point I looked up there was 12, so we really had a lot of people staying with us till the very
We
end.
had 22
At one
Yep,
point,
we had
22.
22.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
thank you, guys. All right.
if you were meant to be here, you were. Okay, Kimberly, you have to sign off.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.